go, Kerry. I want to play a game.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be making some Saw 3 acid bath hot cocoa and some whipped cream Kerrys. So you're going to take an 8x8 pan. I've got some leftover Cool Whip. I'm going to spray the pan down with a little bit of cooking spray to help hold the parchment paper down. And I didn't spray the sides very well because I didn't want this to saturate and get my Cool Whip all oily. So I'm going to use some chip clips. And while you're watching me do that, I'm going to give you some facts about Saw 3. Fact number 1 is the first cut of Saw was 3.5 hours long before being cut down to 2 hours and 1 minute long. I wonder what we didn't get to see in all of that. I wonder if it was any good. I hope it was good. So I like the Saw movies. Most of them. So we're going to take the leftover Cool Whip and, well, my leftover Cool Whip, and we're going to put it in the pan. You can make these almost as thick as you want to. I'm trying not to do them super thick, but I don't want them really thin either because I do like a lot of Cool Whip in my hot cocoa. Number 2, real surgeons from UCLA Medical Center were interviewed to make sure all the medical jargon in the film was accurate, which is kind of nice because some movies just seem to just throw shit together and it's not accurate and sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Number 3. Saw 3 was re-edited and submitted 7 times to bring the film's rating down from an NC-17 to an R rating due to all of the gore. I guess I can and can't see that. I mean, it was a pretty gory movie, but compared to some things that I've seen, I don't think it was really that bad. Keep spreading the Cool Whip. Keep spreading it because I don't have an offset spatula, so we're just gonna roll with this until I get it where I want it. So, yeah. Number 4. Rob Zombie helped edit the film in order to bring the rating down since he's dealt with the same issues with House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. But Zombie was actually not credited in any of the film or for helping of any of the film, which, okay, I guess. I mean, I guess you would want credit, but Number 5. The entire film was shot in a giant warehouse in Toronto, Canada. There were no other filming locations for this movie. Number 6. Saw 3 was shot in chronological order and took only 28 days to film, which is kind of cool, I guess, because a lot of films are not filmed in chronological order. A lot of times it just makes sense just to do certain shots from different parts of the movie on certain days and certain times. So that's pretty cool. Almost done, almost done, almost done. Now, real quick, back to this Cool Whip right here. I kind of wanted to do something different. Like, I've never done any of this before, so this is all just very much an experiment on my part. I wanted, like, the little Cool Whip Kerrys to kind of bleed when, I know that sounds gross, kind of bleed when they got into the acid bath. So I thought if I took some red food gel and just kind of streaked it around, that maybe that would work and make kind of a cool effect when it started melting in the hot chocolate. So this is what I went with, and I didn't realize I was almost out of red food coloring because I use a lot of food coloring for a lot of different things, as you might have noticed on previous episodes of Creepy Kitchen. So yeah, just a couple of toothpicks, and that was it. I didn't do it. So, okay, so now in the freezer for 2 hours. Actually, I set this for an hour, but you should do it for 2 hours. You want it a little more firm. But because I'm just doing this for a video, I just did it as quick as I could, basically. So I have a bowl of water that you can dip the cookie cutter in if you get some buildup on the side from the Cool Whip. And you just press them out, and you have to be careful because I did not let these sit for 2 hours, so they're still a little, they're a little delicate still. And while I cut those out, I'm going to give you the last fact. Fact number 7. A lot of dialogue and scenes were improv, kind of like this show, due to not having a complete script when the filming started. So that's actually pretty cool. So if you go back and watch it, just know that a lot of it was not scripted. Like the scenes and the dialogue was pretty much improvised. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so stick these guys back in the freezer until you're ready to go. And now we're going to make some acid bath hot cocoa. I'm going to take some cup of milk and a cup of the white chocolate chips or vanilla chips, whatever you want to call them. Put them in a pot on medium-high heat with a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. If you don't want it to be vanilla, you can use caramel extract, hazelnut, any kind of food flavoring you basically want. You can put nutmeg, pumpkin spice, oh my god. You can make it any flavor you want because these are just very bland chips. They're vanilla. And then once this is all melted, we're going to add 5 drops of yellow gel food coloring into it, just so it looks more like the acid in the movie. And this is going to take a couple minutes for this to melt down. Just make sure you keep stirring it because it gets kind of clumpy. It will scorch if it's stuck to the side of the pan and you're not tending to it very well. Also, you want to make sure you get a mug that's like a fairly large mug so that your little whipped cream Kerry will fit into it nicely. Stir, 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 making the acid, stir, stir, stir. Now, I'm not a huge fan of vanilla, really, except for vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream's good. But like white chocolate, whatever the hell you want to call this, I'm not a huge fan of it. Normally, I like dark chocolate, but I will say this one wasn't that bad. So maybe I'll put a different flavoring in it next time, like maybe caramel or something. But not vanilla. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but that's just not my that's not my cup of cocoa, if you will. And just about done. And I'm going to get a ladle because I make messes all the time. And I have a tendency to spill things. I spilled a lot of milk. I literally spilled a lot of milk before I got started. So I was like, oh, that's great. Okay, I guess I didn't get the ladle yet. We're going to do the food coloring because I forgot. I started out with 3 just to see how the yellow was going to come out. And then I was like, this isn't acidy looking enough. So let me add some more. And I added 2 more drops. And it came up with this color. And I was pretty happy with it. Okay, Joe, I think we're done. We're done. Stop stirring. Okay, now I got the ladle, so I can get a good portion of it in without having to pour the rest, because I was like, I'm going to make a mess. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to get my little whipped cream Kerrys out of the freezer. And they kind of stuck a little bit, but that's okay, so that's why I need 2 hands to carefully take it off. And ta-da! And just because you put something cold in there doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to chill like it just came off the pot. So if you drink it too quick, you're going to burn your mouth just like she burned her hand. I did that. I'm not going to lie. I burned the shit out of my mouth. So, and that's what she looks like. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give a like, subscribe, follow, and I'll see you guys next time.